Yo, brothers and sisters. Yeah, yeah. Show them where we are. Have a look where we are.
Give you a guided tour. Look,
It's beautiful, isn't it?
beautiful area. Willow trees along a river bank.
Just plotted up.
There's the office there. Look,
Bag of donuts. Look,
bag of donuts
and the pad, and the tablet.
Pad.
The tablet. Yeah. Look. Yeah. Look, listen. What we're going to go through. Yeah. Is. What we're going to go through, yeah, is from the start, right? Like, what I'm going to go through in this pad, right, to resonating souls and fast trackers, this is reality, right? What I'm going to take you through, I'll go back and forth. You know how I think, all of you. Yeah, my brain works. Yeah, you know how my brain works. I go back and forth, but you're going to listen. There's a lot of shit here, yeah, right, bits and pieces.
Breakdown.
Epic breakdown from the beginning, yeah, to now, yeah, and it's stuff what concerns you more than anything else, yeah. Like, this is stuff what concerns you more, yeah, because you need a clearer picture. But this is stuff what I've explained to you before, right, but it's in another level. Like, it's a bit deeper, yeah. And you need to know this because this is your ancestry shit. This is how you got here in the first place, how you got stuck here and everything, yeah, and why, yeah. Because listen, everything starts off good. Like I told you, everything starts off good. And when I explained to you, when we was doing the diagrams and everything, like the first phase, yeah, it was in the flat, yeah. That first phase is so important, as you all know, yeah. But you're all ready now. We're all ready to go home, yeah. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to explain to you, because some people go well, how did we get demons? And how did we get parasites? Why? How did they get involved? How did they get to do all this? I'm going to show you.
Good question. Yeah.
Because this is what most people think. Because everything, where I'm from, the Dome of Forgotten Gods, everything starts there, right? And when we first started to create and build, yeah, we created and designed basically the ultimate seed to protect and guard and build the bridges. And as you know now, yeah, a lot of you, who I'm talking about, we're talking about the custodians, yeah, because the custodians, right, we put them in play, yeah, and I'm going to show you how we put them in play and everything, yeah. And the Anunnaki don't come in till later. And let me tell you now, right, the custodians brought the Anunnaki into play, but made it look like they come out of nowhere, like they always do. Because this is the art. This is the art of war, yeah. To stay invisible, yeah. Not wanting recognition and everything, yeah. And this is something what this world is all about. Recognition, being a hero.
7 deadly sins.
All this sort of stuff, yeah. And it's all very bad. It's all very bad, right? Right, here we go. Because you know, this is going to just start. All this is going to start. I was talking about before any dark foot. Here, do you know what? Hang on a minute, Leon. You beam in that. Let me get a stick.
Yeah, need your pointer.
Yeah, look, one there for me.
Perfect.
Thank you, mother. Yeah. Right. Yeah. But listen, I'm even going to go through. Yeah. Listen. Right. Let's go through so you don't wonder what's on the pages. I'm going to take you through from the start, yeah, I'm going to tell you the mechanism of the domes outside, how everything's layered, yeah. I'm going to show you how you travel in the sky, the ocean, and on a drive, yeah. Everything's algorithmed, right? I'm going to, right, because this is all stuff, so you can really get your head around it, get a clear picture on that, yeah, right? So look, I'm going to take you through, like, yeah, like how it all started, right? The tree, yeah, because the tree, the main node, yeah, in all existence, yeah, what boosts and activates the crystal worlds above us, yeah, right? Don't forget, everything's overlaid, yeah. All the domes outside, everything, continents, countries, yeah. And listen, just to prove, right? Like borders, you're gonna learn a lot. There ain't no borders. It's an illusion. Borders are all an illusion. Yeah, there ain't a border. Yeah, like, and you're gonna see. I'm gonna show you. Yeah. What was I saying? What? Yeah. Wait. So we got like from the start. I'm gonna take you through like, because it's all important for you to remember these races. Yeah. Because you all know them. Yeah, you know them just as well as I do. You all know them. Yeah. The black crystals. I'm going to talk about. Like, listen, there's loads. I've got 45 pages there anyway. Yeah. Do you know what? No, we won't tell them. I'll just run through it. Right. Then listen, here we go. Right. Obviously, I'm going to stop and that in between and that. Yeah. But like, a lot of you who's been watching me for a long time, yeah, you're going to remember like the way of flow, how I told you and everything. Yeah, this is all going to like make sense to you. All right. This is why you've got your world, your 3D, your third density. All right. Right now, before any dark falls, yeah, all origin lines, including the Lyran builders, us, yeah, and I'm going to explain to you later. Yeah, here I go. So I can't wait to go get through the first page or not. Yeah, I will explain to you, like, there's beings with Lyran features through positive minute, because I'm going to tell you all about Sirius A and B as well. Yeah, right. Right. There's like this is a thing, right? I've got to listen. I've got like bit of confession time here, right? Right. It's a lot of stuff, yeah. What you all know. You've been watching me for a long time, yeah. What I've been saying to you, right? Yeah. Like, I ain't got nothing wrong. I've said everything right. Don't you worry about that. Yeah. Listen, I'm not allowed to be wrong, right? But there's some certain stuff what I've said, right? Right. Because come to this last phase, this final bit now, like, I'm gonna catch a few of them out. Yeah. They're gonna have to listen. They're gonna have to listen. Yeah. And I will explain to you about Lyrans. Right? And it's not like that we look like lions and that. Alright? It's just something that, you know, I've sort of like because there's a lot of bullshit in this world, confusing things, yeah? And you've got to dig them out. Yeah? And I'm the best at it. Yeah? And so, yeah, and that soul, that consciousness mindset, what plays the trumps in that, yeah? That knows how to do it and all. You're all going to find, listen, think about this, listen. We are all one. Yeah? Like, when we seeded everything, right, it comes from one. Yeah? We're all one. We are all one. So, how do you think the whole of this is being architected? Yeah? Like, how I work. Yeah? Look how Trump works. Right? Look how some of these characters on your screens work. And look how I'm working. Look. You got to join the dots. Yeah? Like, remember, we're all one. Yeah? But something very unique. Yeah? The number one consciousness mindset, right, is operating it all. And this is the fucked up thing about it. Yeah? Well, it's operating. Yeah? what everyone in existence is seeing. Like, it ain't like what you think either, because the thing behind it all is running on like half a cylinder. Yeah, it's got 1 foot in and 1 foot out, and it's doing all this stuff with all you resonating souls out. Yeah, like I said, you're all gonna remember me, alright? Trust, no worries about that. Yeah, like here we go. Look, I'm murdering off. I didn't even sorry about that. Look, listen, here we go. Right. Before any dark force, yeah, like, you've got to remember when I said I've been sold out from day one. Not just me. 12 Council 12 Sons. A little bit about that. I've always been sold out. I'll show you. Right? Before any dark force, all origin lines, including the Lyran builders, yeah, plus early custodians, all began in harmony, balanced. What we represent, balanced. While we created councils, yeah, because of balance, yeah, because of the worlds we was about to seed. Right. All origin lines, including the Lyran builders, early custodians, all began in harmony, balanced. Our first purpose was to hold balance between realms, overlays, build crystalline structures of light, and guide new worlds, gradually influence them with the knowledge and they would need to survive, the knowledge they would need to survive and learn more. Nothing was evil, like I explained way back. Everything in every being carried the spark of source. Over countless cycles, some custodians, ancient overseers, yeah? Here we go, got the wind, sorry. Right, ancient overseers, where was I? Spark of source, right. Over countless cycles, some custodians, ancient overseers of gateways, began to crave more control of the flows of energy. They were asked only to guard. Yeah, we only put them in play to guard. Yeah, to guard. Yeah, and present. Yeah, this wasn't instant corruption. It was slow, gradual. Custodian pride, fear of losing power, and their desire to improve creation on their own terms. What did I tell you at my flat? What have I told you for the last 4 years? How this lot all works. What happened? No one starts good. Like, everyone starts good, yeah? But you've always got that one, yeah? Because the custodians was there, guarding like basically ancient creations. Our creations, yeah? What we was creating, yeah? Our creations we was creating whilst the physical plane we was building, yeah, through consciousness, yeah, we build, yeah, we benefit. We was creating the Great Dome, and I'm going to go well into that in a minute, anyway, yeah. So, like, we just go where, like, you know, the countless cycles of custodians, ancient overseers, the gateways, yeah, the ones I always told you, what sold us out at the beginning, yeah. It goes way back, like, before the Anunnaki, yeah, way back. Anunnaki ain't even around then, yeah. We had control of all seeding, yeah. We was the first ones. We had control of all seeding, yeah. And all, that's where, like, see, like the Greys and that. The Greys, like, I'm going to go on about them, but they weren't bad in the beginning. They was just manipulated by Anunnaki custodians and that, yeah. Draconians comes in way later. Wait, we'll go through this one more, yeah, without stopping. Wait, before any dark force. All origin lines, including the Lyran builders, early custodians, all began in harmony, balanced. Our first purpose was to hold balance between realms, overlays, build crystalline structures of light, and guide new worlds, gradually influence them with the knowledge they would need to survive and learn more. Nothing was evil, like I explained, way back. Everything and every being carried the spark of source. Over countless cycles, some custodians who we put into play, yeah, ancient overseers of gateways, began to crave more control of the flows over energy they were asked only to guard. This wasn't instant corruption, it was slow, gradual. custodian pride, fear of losing power, and their desire to improve creation on their own terms. Yeah? Do you get that bit? This bit here at the bottom is the same game what they've been playing on you in this world. Yeah? Totally. Slow, gradual. Yeah? Sly. Loving you and that. Yeah? And then going bop. You don't even see it coming. Yeah? That's serious. This is how it starts. I told you, everything starts good. Yeah? But you've always got that one, especially if you like, all of a sudden you create something to guard all our creations. Yeah? Who's going to start putting it and building these bridges to put it into play. Yeah? Right? Through physical. The custodians, this is why they've been so powerful. Because they've known the secrets from the beginning. Yeah? And they sold us out. Yeah? But don't forget, there's still some good custodians. Yeah? Right? And a lot of them are the most beautiful, we created them like us before we done physical life. But they're the most beautiful, like, caring, like, beings you'll ever come across. Yeah? And I'm going to tell you now, like, Leon, me, there's a lot of you who's here with me, ancient souls, yeah? Right? We were custodians once. Bernie was custodian, I was custodian, Leon. All the ancient ones who's around me in here, who's been support, yeah? A lot of you was custodians. And that's why we're trapped in here. Don't forget, when they started their game, right? When they started their game, right? The main thing is, they had to get the ancient ones out of the way too. Yeah? And they were lured. And they was trapped. Yeah? But the ones who was there, like my mother and father, like them ancient ones from the Council of Thousand, they were always safe. Yeah? Because they, like, I've explained how they create these arcs in these invisible, like, places and that, yeah? Like we've explained, yeah? Always been safe, and they're the ones out there now. Yeah? Like my brother, there's a load of them out there, but there's a load of us trapped in there. But don't forget, yeah? We wanted to be trapped in it. We wanted to be. Because it's us what's getting this place out of shit now. Yeah? Custodians to parasites. Yeah? Custodians to parasites. That craving hardened into self-protective force. They stopped serving balance and began feeding on it. By creating overlays, dense grids, artificial veils, they learned they could harvest attention and emotion. Something one of their biggest things is attention and emotion. They can harvest that, and let me tell you, just before they harvest the moon, in between every eclipse is a build up of your energy, what they collect here. But on that night, when they do that eclipse all day, that does that eclipse, I want to explain to you, it's a puppet show, and they laugh at you. All they're doing, right, is they amplify the sun for a few seconds, cap it, they siphon it, and they give it again. They harvest this attention, emotion. I want to tell you a bit more about the eclipse. Yeah? Nothing's what you sing. Nothing. Oh, that's why I'm here. Nothing's what it seems. Yeah? Attention and emotion. What many call louche. To maintain their own false stability. So, yeah? By creating overlays, dense grids, artificial veils, they learned they could harvest attention, emotion, what many call louche. To maintain their own false stability. All this phase was the rise of the parasitic pattern. That's where it all, yeah? The Anunnaki appear after the custodian's turn. Yeah? So, work that one out. Once the custodian's turn, all of a sudden, the Anunnaki turns up. So they and don't forget what I said, this is what I'm saying, you've got to listen to every word of this. Listen, the information, what I've dropped the last 4 years, yeah, especially last year and the last few months, is so important. More important than you could even imagine. Yeah? Because it's you. It's giving you a picture. It's I'm trying in reality normalise our reality again. Yeah? Because this is all us. Yeah? Right? This is fucked up. Yeah? And it's going to get even more very soon. Yeah? Right? The Anunnaki appear after the custodian's turn. Yeah? Your child can work that out. Custodian's turn then, and Anarchy turns up. Oh my, wipe your ass up, please. Yeah. The Anunnaki turns up. Yeah. Makes me laugh. The Anunnaki appear after the Custodian's turn. They never started the distortion. They entered a field overlay already warped. So they was put there. And in some timelines already amplified it. Sometimes... Right, the Anunnaki appear. After the Custodian's turn, they never started the distortion. They entered a field overlay already warped, and in some timelines already amplified it. Sometimes as enforcers, sometimes as opportunists. Think of them as later players in a drama whose script had already been bent. Equals Custodian. Yeah? Don't forget, we are like the start. Like we were the first ones who know how to bend sound and vibration and light into light and then images. Yeah, right. So the Custodians, when we put them into play, yeah, to basically start forming the physical plane, the Great Dome. Yeah, this is where they started not liking it. They felt they wanted more control because they're here, we're outside. But listen, without the mechanism, us outside, they couldn't work. So they used us, yeah, all that time while we trusted them, yeah. Whose script had already been bent. Equals Custodians, influence unawarely. All this, see this lot. These lots have got the seats at the Vatican. Custodians, yeah. They are the daddies. The daddies, yeah. Listen, the Anunnaki and all that lot, and Draconians, at the end of the day, really have to play ball with the Custodians. Yeah? They have to play. Custodians still run the script, yeah, with the Draconians as well. Yeah? Because like some way or another, if everyone destroyed each other, the Custodians would come out on top. Yeah. Because they know like their incarnation technology and that is just overwhelming. Yeah. Because they know everything we do. Yeah. But they've inverted everything. Right, so the Anunnaki appear after the Custodian's turn. They never started the distortion, they entered a field overlay already warped, and in some timelines already amplified it. Sometimes as enforcers, sometimes as opportunists. Think of them as later players in a drama whose script had already been bent. Equals Custodian influenced unawarely. The reason why all this matters now to all you awakening souls, yeah, the lesson isn't right. Your lesson, yeah, isn't that there's permanent enemy. It's that even the brightest can drift when fear and hunger for control replace trust in source. The parasite is more like a pattern of forgetting than an eternal species. But remembering love and shared origin, resonating souls help dissolve the pattern and complete what the Custodians once began. Because that's what's going to happen. Remember how many times I've said to you all, right, through my videos, no matter what, like, this is over, we've done, yeah. What we started this for in the first place, it's going to go back again. It's going to start. It's going to flourish again, yeah. And everything, this is going to show you everything is going to be back to how it was. The Custodians were going to be back to where they are. Everything's going to be back to where. But all the Custodians, no, all the Custodians, yeah, and all the ones what's betrayed us. That's a different story. Yeah, there's like crimes on children, crimes in humanity. Don't forget, they've been suppressing other worlds. Yeah, there's other races. They've had their free energy, but it's still been controlled. Yeah, because of paranoia of their energy creating bigger weapons to attack. Yeah, but they got to keep them all sweet. Them outside, because if they kept they didn't keep them all sweet outside. Like everyone would attack, wouldn't they? They think, fuck it, we got nothing to live for, and if all the world's come through.
Were the Custodians when they went back,
the highest.
But now
the highest.
They're not still.
No. The what? No. There's good Custodians working with us. The ones what turned on us, the guards, yeah, who was building everything here for us. No, yeah, they turned on us. Yeah, they wanted more control. They wanted to. They thought they could.
Got ya.
They thought they could create everything on their own terms.
Yeah. But because they were high density before that happened,
Yeah.
did they drop densities into fourth? Or
No. As they suppressed everything, density dropped. They did, yeah. No, they knew that it was going to drop, but everything they done when the parachutes come together, because all the parachutes know, to conquer, you have to drop the density, yeah, and you've got to use a lot of technology, resets, amnesia, technology, all that stuff, yeah. So, like I said, it'll all go back to normal. Yeah? Don't forget, a lot of not all custodians turned. These are all factions. It's like draconians. Like you had factions of draconians what turned, yeah. But there is factions of draconians like reptilians what knew. Like they'll have a run, but even if we went with these, it ain't going to be good. Yeah, because they're thinking forward. But these, listen, custodians have got a lot of influence. They're very magical, very psychic. They see the future. Because the future are our creations before we put them into physical play. Yeah? The Don't Forgotten Gods is what everything, vortexes, gateways, portals, everything, see the light bending sound into light images, all creation, all happened. Yeah? It's the main mechanism. And our eventual plan was to one day, through involvement, was to create a physical plane, yeah? To create more frequency and vibration. Yeah? So, I'll go through that again. Isn't that there's a permanent enemy? It's that even the brightest can drift when fear and hunger for control replace trust in source. The parasite is more like a pattern of forgetting than an eternal species. By remembering love and shared origin, resonating souls help dissolve the pattern and complete what the custodians once began. So there's going to be there's a lot of stuff what's been going on outside, which basically they're telling you, yeah, what we trusted the custodians to do, yeah, there's other things in play, and it's been happening now, yeah. So what they're saying is the custodians, yeah, it's the custodian mindsets what we've used, but they've been taken out of that system, away from that custodian negative influence, yeah. We've kept them in play, otherwise custodians would have come and got them, yeah, because they know what they're doing, knows their secrets. They got the same mindset, same psychic thing. So we had to remove them out of the custodian thing, yeah. So custodians, the beautiful mindsets, what was created for these to guard and start putting our creation into play, yeah. We still got them into play with us, yeah. Because we're clever too, yeah. But Anuak custodians. Anuak were the muscle builders, genetic engineers. They established early grids and the control systems of the domes. Custodians, the priestly class of the cube, were the strategists and the high frequency manipulators. They never dirtied their hands. They gave the orders. At this stage, lands of Mars and the known lands was still pulsing with solar grid energy. Think Darth Vader, Anuak, and the Emperor Custodian. Basically, yeah. They've even set their moon thing up, what they put behind the moon, yeah? Yeah, listen. When you have your eclipse, that turns up, yeah? And it sits beyond that black cube tech, that hollow thing is, like I told you. I even drew, do you know what? 2.5, 3 years ago, I drew on a board the moon, how they create the moon, and I'll draw the diagram of the round thing, yeah? Because I can remember when I was younger, right? I was younger, and I've seen it since then. I told Gina, when I was at the kids, going back a few years ago, about 5 years ago, yeah? I've looked up at the moon, and I thought, and I just bought one of them monocular things, and I'm looking at it, and I thought, I don't really look at the moon, I know it's what it is, yeah? But I looked at the moon one day, and I see, the round bit on the side,
the dent,
and I thought, the times I've looked up and seen it, I've just thought I was seeing shit like as I was younger, going through. No. Yeah. And then when I first watched Star Wars, You know, say no more, in your face.
Yeah.
And then a couple of times, it happened a couple of times. I looked up at the moon, and it was there. Yeah. But what you'll find out most of the time is they turns up like a few weeks before you're going to have an eclipse and that. Like, so in between every eclipse, yeah, I'm going to talk about that in a minute because I've got it in there. In between every eclipse, like it's like a harvest. No, like a build up of your energy, and then eclipses is the harvest. Yeah. And the laugh's on you.
The big cargo.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, right. Anuc, right. I'll read that again. Now that bit. Yeah. Anuc custodians. Anuc were the muscle builders and genetic engineers. They established early grids and the control systems of domes. Custodians, the priestly class of the cube, were the strategists. Don't forget priestly. Like that's a human word, priestly. Yeah, right. That's what that is mean. That's meant to be spiritual way. Yeah, it's like it's a spiritual way. They was meant to have like unconditional love and empathy and abundance and creativity. That's what we gave them. Yeah, to start the blueprint and creation of the earth of the physical plane. Yeah, and they shit on us. Yeah, basically in your terms. Yeah. Early grids and the control systems of the domes. Custodians, the priestly class of the cube, were the strategists and high frequency manipulators. Big time. High frequency manipulators. Yeah, think of that, right? I'm going to tell you why. What are greys? High frequency manipulators. Yeah, and the greys became the best. Yeah, other than the Rapa Nui, right? The greys, because the Rapa Nui have got there's some sort of genetic genetically made, didn't they? Greys, what they called, they're like
Rapa Nui or the greys?
synthetics. So, yeah, but the Rapa Nui are like they're not. They're more. They got like soul spirit and everything. Yeah. But frequency manipulators is what the greys are. Yeah. You've got to think that's why I'm doing it like this. Yeah. See. When you go through this, you've got to see these words, right? The priestly class of the cube were the strategists, the high frequency manipulators, custodians, and then you've got to think, what else is a high frequency manipulator? Yeah. What else has mapped out big time overlays, slipping in and out of overlays? Yeah. Well, the first thing in my mind would be, if you're awake, would be a grey. Yeah. So there you go. This is where the greys originally come from. Yeah. And then the Anunnaki, yeah, sorry, I've got that no. Sorry, no. The Anunnaki was influenced by the custodians. The Anunnaki, through the influence of the custodians, yeah, created the greys only for engineering, nothing bad. The Anunnaki, they weren't meant to have been like bad. They were meant to just be like manipulators of frequency robot, yeah. But as things went on, the custodians and the Anunnaki had different plans for that. I'm going to go into that anyway in a minute, yeah. But there you go, look, the frequency manipulators. This is where all about the greys as well. While they're just they've mastered that. Don't forget, they all had. Listen, none of them can stand each other. The Anunnaki and custodians don't like each other. They don't trust each other, so they can throw them. It's all Mac, yeah. So yeah, class. They never dirtied their hands, custodians. Always silent in the back, behind the curtain, like Wizard of Oz. Yeah? As they gave the orders. At this stage, lands of Mars and the Lone Lands was still pulsing with solar grid energy. Think Darth Vader, Anuc, and the Emperor, custodian. Yeah? Here we go, look, here we go, here. The greys, look. That's where they comes in, right? So by now, we're at the stage. What we're at now, right? Yeah, is the custodian Daniel and Anuc, yeah, sort of like all of a sudden coming together, like bumped into each other accidentally and that.
The summer ball.
Yeah, the summer ball and that. Yeah. Oh yeah, we've got our plans, but we've got our plans. Well, we can come to an agreement. Yeah. Boom. Here we go. Yeah. The Grey Rebellion. The Greys, enslaved by the Anunnaki, grew tired of being tools. They had the knowledge of overlays, simulations, frequency valves, more than their masters realised. They began sabotaging, turning against their handlers in hidden ways. Yeah. So basically, look, I said to you in other videos, the Greys got pissed off with the custodians and the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki and custodians always promised Greys protection, you'll never get hurt and all that lot. Well, when they went to war, in what,
Great part of London.
yeah, the last reset,
Yeah.
their leader got killed. Yeah? And the reason why the Greys can't stand you is because it's this war, it was the humans, yeah, the Tartarians and that, yeah, what are all you lot, right, yeah? This is the reason why they can't stand you, the Greys. Well, they chop you up, like, you know, look how you buy us a bit of bread. They can't stand you. And the more like you're scared, the better for them, the Greys. They're not satanic. They don't do it all that ritual way. They just need all your organs, secretion glands and all that lot, yeah? But the Greys can't stand you because it was this war, the reset, right, what killed their leader. You know when you see that
Daddy
picture,
Grey.
yeah, the Daddy Grey, yeah, you know, it's Queen Bee,
B.
yeah, right? But they don't like the custodians and the Anunnaki because they always promised them protection and they didn't protect their leader.
Reneged on it.
Yeah, they sort of come in. The Greys, but the thing is, the Greys, like, a little bit, they fucked themselves a little bit because they attacked them without them. The Anunnaki and custodians was having a bit of a battle. They had to stop, this is what I mean. They had to stop that war and come back here, you know.
Protect the dinner.
Yeah, protect the main asset, the dinner. Otherwise, you know what I mean, it would have gone, you know what I mean, a different way. They would have got their way, but it would have gone a little bit different. It would have took more time. Yeah. The Greys, The Greys, enslaved by the Anunnaki, grew tired of being tools. They had the knowledge of overlays, simulations, frequency valves, more than their masters realised. They began sabotaging, turning against their handlers in hidden ways. This is where Draconians comes in, yeah? The Draconians ain't stupid, yeah? They don't forget, they're in the background. They know all this is going on, yeah? They know all what the custodians are up to, what they're going to do. They knows all that, like, not everything, you know what I mean? Because they're very secretive custodians, but knows enough, yeah? To, like, want to all cash in on that, like, on the deal. Yeah, what I'm going to show you, you lot, you're the deal. Yeah, Draconian invasion. The Draconians, yeah, enter later. Yeah, remember what I told you all about when they hit Mars and that at the same time, right? The Draconians entered later by exploiting the Greys. This content, yeah, just like they knew what's going on, didn't they? Yeah, they launched their assaults on Mars and portions of the known lands, catching both Anunnaki custodians off guard. This forced everyone back to the table. A parasitic treaty. The big carve up. The big carve up. Yeah. Listen. See in a minute, you lot, you should be fuming. Yeah? Like, if you knew, this is what I'm saying, what our carries, right? I don't care who you are in this world, right? What our carries, if you knew, you're going to see how good I am at keeping my calm, how controlled I am. You're going to actually, sometimes some of you might think like he's a bit blunt. No. Listen, listen. When you find out what I've carried and what I carry, you're going to see how controlled I am. Even if I look sometimes a little bit, that's still controlled. Trust, yeah, trust me, right? Trust me on this. Yeah? The Draconian invasions. The Draconians entered later by exploiting the Greys' discontent. They launched assaults on Mars and portions of the known lands, catching both Anunnaki custodians off guard. This forced everyone back to the table. A parasitic treaty equals the big carve up. This is where Greys had more flow and started intelligence on another level. Shared asset agreement, because none of the parasites trusted each other and none of them wanted to lose the known lands to positive fleets. They cut a deal. Did they ask you? Where do you come in? Where do you come in? Well, I've been telling you and showing you before, yeah? So, what we got so far is the custodians selling us out, yeah, taking all like creation with them, yeah, to basically gradually using us for so long. When the actual infrastructure of the physical plane come in, the custodians had all the blueprints and we trusted them, yeah, and they were very, very clever, the custodians, and they started to basically create, yeah, don't forget, they put all the crystal in, they put all the nodes, they put all the harmonic lenses in, don't forget, yeah, all the pyramids, all the stuff to activate the physical plane for everything what we need. They put all that in, yeah, knowing fully well that sometime like they're going to invert it all to their circuit grid. Yeah? Don't forget, everything positive, all the circuits, they can't get rid of the crystal, all harmonic lenses, all nodes, you know, ancient, they can't do that, no, they need them, but they need it inverted, yeah, look you, they need you, without you, nothing works,
No.
They got nothing without you, yeah? They need you for loosh, for energy, all sorts. Look, I told you, they carve you up, each parasite has got a deal of certain harvest of energies they take from you. If it's plasma, or right down to plasma and that, yeah. But plasma will involve gold, yeah. So the Nibirians, they look to avoid like plasma, but they'll have something a lot to do with gold. Anything to do with void plasma or whatever, they'll have something to do with it because that's what they need, yeah, to survive and everything, yeah. So each like parasite has got their specific thing what they need, their product, yeah, what keeps them living and evolving, like, negatively, yeah. Yeah, right, so, yeah, we'll do that again. Draconian invasion. The Draconians entered later by exploiting the Greys. Yeah, they teamed up. Yeah, yeah, because the Greys was getting, like, you know, mistreated by the and the custodians. Yeah, so, yeah, sorry, we'll do that. We got to the custodians, we've done that bit, yeah. Then, the Anunnaki, you know, comes in accidentally. Yeah. Oh, look, another race. Well, hang on a minute. You've got to think about this then. They don't just turn up from nowhere. Everything started here at first base. Well, you got a invisible second base over there all of a sudden. What's created the Anunnaki? What we don't know about. No. Custodians. Yeah. They took the libraries, everything. They drained us. At the last second. They took the technologies we was going to use. Yeah. All the creations, all the images, everything. And when we bent down, they took it all. Yeah. And they built hubs when they went took worlds. Like, don't forget, the custodians let everything seed. They let all the world seed and bloom at first because they need that, because they need the enslavement there unawarely. They let it all happen, but right at that right moment in time,
took it.
Boom, when it was all ready, when they didn't need us at all no more. Boom,
had the blueprints.
Yeah,
and everything.
Yeah, but they come very unstuck. Because us ancient ones who's in here now, yeah, who are their most threat. And with outside help, it's let the ancient ones in here activate. Yeah, and we're activating. And we kicked arse. Serious arse. Yeah? So, when I was telling you, the Draconians and Greys all teamed up. Went to Mars, yeah, parts of the known lands, took them by surprise, yeah, forced them back up. Force them back at the table, yeah? Because no one wants to lose their asset here. Don't forget, this is the heart of the Great Dome, the heart of the cube, the heart of all creation. It's like, not the heart of the spinal cord of creation, sorry. The heart really was the Dome of Forgotten Gods, yeah? But we created a physical heart. That's right, yeah? We created a physical heart to create more pulse, yeah, more pulse, boom, 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 yeah, and that, as I'm going to explain in a minute, you know, does a lot of shit, yeah. Right, this is where yours truly started to come to agreements on how you're going to live, how you're going to, who dies, who lives, you know. They agreed to co-manage the known lands 3D Central Realm overlay. Overlay. Yeah. I'll tell you about the worlds and everything in a minute. Yeah. Go countries. I ain't been wrong. I ain't been wrong about nothing. Trust. Yeah. But nothing. That's what I'm saying. The more we went into this, the more far out it gets. Yeah. More far out it gets. Yeah. They agreed to co-manage the known lands, the 3D Central Realm overlay, as a shared farm for both energy harvest and for containment of soul consciousness. This created the Council of Parasite Races. The 5 main parasite races. Number 1, Custodians, Cube Priests, Frequency Lords, Keepers of the Reincarnation Loop. 2, Anunnaki, Genetic Manipulation, Hybrid Bloodlines and Control Structures. 3, Draconians, Military Muscle, Terror, Fear Harvest, Empire Strategies. 4, Greys, Overlays Engineers, Abductors, Frequency Tech, Liberians, Shadow Parasites, Dimensional Siphons. Yeah, so they're multi-dimensional siphons. Like wherever there's like plasma, like they suck the void out of it.
Like the portal.
Yeah, they're very clever. Yeah, they get Liberians come from Custodians and yeah, and they fucked up when they created them because they become like, you know,
Powerful.
yeah, they don't give them no at all. They might do sometimes just to just to say look, we're not pussies. You know, yeah, just do how you lot here think, all you gangs and all that lot. Yeah. Liberian shadow parasites, dimensional siphons. They thrive on void tech and black plasma. This lot cover all angles, and basically all these parasites they covers all angles. Yeah. This lot cover all angles, and they're all paranoid. They fight each other, but stick together. This is a must to secure their main assets. Yeah, a must. Yeah. So yeah. They agreed to co-manage the known lands, 3D Central Overlay, as a shared farm for both energy harvest and for containment of soul consciousness. This created the Council of Parasite Races, the 5 main parasite races. Number 1, Custodians, Cube Priests, yeah, Frequency Lords, Keepers of the Reincarnation Loop. Yeah, so look, how are they that? Because that's how they sold us out. Look, why? Look. The Lord Keepers of the Reincarnation Loop. But they didn't know that. Even the Custodians. Yeah. This is all a gradual thing. Everything's done gradually. Yeah. Because when you do it gradually, you don't see it coming. Yeah. Especially in here. Anunnaki, genetic manipulation, hybrid bloodlines and control structures, Draconians, military muscle, terror, fear, harvest empires, strategies. Greys, overlay engineers, abductors, frequency tech. Liberians, shadow parasites, dimensional siphons. They thrive on void tech and black plasma. This lot cover all angles, and they're all paranoid. They fight each other, but stick together. This is a must to secure their main assets. Been pretty clear so far, yeah?
Yeah, as a bell. Well explained.
Right, look, I told you in the beginning again. Like, you're a farm. You're an energy food source, slavery source, farm, your cattle. Yeah? And the reason why you're cattle is not you human ET souls what have been trapped, who we come here for, yeah. But most of the world are NPC. NPC is cattle.
Goyim.
Yeah? Yeah. Totally. Right? The core agreement, the central known lands, the farm, each race got its slice of the harvest. I told you, it's sliced up. Like, remember when I was at my flat and I used to tell you, like, you'll just meet your cattle, and there's about 5, 6 races. Don't forget they got all their throw-offs. Don't forget, yeah, these are the top 5 parasitic races, yeah. Don't forget they've got, when I used to tell you, they've got all their throw-offs, yeah. So there's a lot of harvest. They've got to do a lot of harvesting. They're parasites.
Keep everyone happy.
Yeah, listen, how do the farmers work here?
Yeah. cram the crop in.
24/7, you know, all year
Harvest.
through. Well, exactly what a farmer's doing here. They
Like
do.
when they make GMO and you get the crops get shorter and shorter, don't
Yeah,
they? Yeah, the harvests get quicker and quicker.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because they need it. Yeah, they need the flow, the loop, the consistency.
Mm.
Yeah. The core agreement, the central known lands, the farm. Each race got its slice of the harvest. Anunnaki, bloodlines, power hierarchies, and genetic breeding. Custodians, the astral harvest cycle, ritual energy. 3. Draconians, fear, submission, war, sacrifice. Greys, genetic material and dimensional access. Nibirians, siphoning of void plasma from the overlays. None of these parasites like or trust each other, but they knew if they didn't stand together, they would have been overrun by the solar families and positive ET fleets. So they stitched themselves into an uneasy alliance, bound by greed, fear, and paranoia. And don't forget, these parasites have created many fucked up hybrid armies, huge armies. Yeah, they're throw off races. What I've just been telling you. Yeah. So you got this lot, yeah, like, you know, got it going for them. They're in paradise at the moment. They're like overflowing, like with energies and like technologies. They're inverting all this stuff. They got it all, like they got it all going on. Yeah, all going on. And they got like worlds, like for starters, the Diamond Clones, the thingy world,
Land of Clones.
Land of Clones. Yeah. That they all shared that. That was one big lab. That's where like you see like you know like in like Lord of the Rings and like you see them like armies, like
armies created,
millions, like all like there.
Sea monsters.
This is what you. This is what's being created there and that. Yeah, and whoever needs an army, if they're getting on, yeah, they go and get the army. Yeah, but if they're having a little bit of an issue, like they got their own sort of like armies. You know, like. Don't forget, it's all done through mindset as well. How they control them. It's like putting fairy dust, sprinkling fairy dust on them and going, right,
we need to do that.
We need that world.
Yeah.
And they goes in. The masters, the hierarchs, like I've just said, they don't get their hands dirty. Yeah, it's just like your governments sending in the military. The Slim lot, sending them in.
Yeah, CIA turn up.
Yeah, they don't need all that. These are just like bred literally to rip your limb to limb, like plough through you,
take your country,
kill
your
you,
world,
like suffocate you with black dust and all that stuff when they first comes in it, and then they just like flashes you, so you don't think you can't even remember black dust, you can't even remember these armies, and you can't. Yeah, that's why I'm here shouting all my mouth off and that. Yeah. So the core agreement: Anunnaki, bloodlines, power hierarchies, and genetic breeding. Custodians, the astral harvest cycle, ritual energy. Draconians, fear, submission, war, sacrifice, and we know what that's all about, don't we? Children and all that stuff. Yeah. Greys, genetic material and dimensional access. Nibirians, siphoning of void plasma of form. Don't get me wrong as well. Listen, this is their core agreement. Yeah, but let me tell you now, right? I would say the Nibirians, custodians, some of the custodians, not all, and Anunnaki do indulge in a little bit of sacrifice, no doubt. Yeah, if it's like, if it's an animal or like an adult, child or whatever, yeah, whatever gives them their energy they need at that moment. And don't forget, they're all into each other. They all share the same hub underneath the Vatican. Like that's layered as well. Yeah, porthole to fuck. The Vatican's just one big porthole, yeah? A huge porthole with loads of little ones in it, with loads of veins. Yeah? That's why they built Vatican City there.
Yeah.
Here we go. Now, this is serious shit. Because we've just been through the custodians, the Anunnaki, the Greys, and that, yeah, a little bit about the Nibirians, yeah, like, and as we now know, like, I know a lot of you astrologers won't like it, but we now, like, a lot of you should now know, you now normalised in your heads that Nibiru ain't up there in the sky, sits behind the sun and that. Yeah, it's lands of Nibiru, yeah, and let me tell you, you ain't going there. You'll be killed. Yeah, you won't even get through the overlay. Yeah, like, no one's going to Nibiru ever. Yeah, even though like it's being patrolled. Yeah, it's too negative. Yeah, like it probably evolved and
Still there,
changed.
are
Yeah, very
In
low
some capacity.
very low profile. Yeah, their crimes on humanity is a little bit different to the others, Nibirians. Yeah, they weren't too much interested in you lot, Nibirians. They was interested in your technology, like the energies of your technologies. Yeah, like you see the energy of your tech, like all your frequencies and that from all your technologies in it. What goes into the ether, what affects the plasma, yeah, and voids the plasma. Yeah, they siphons it out of that.
Right.
They gets that energy out of you.
Right.
Yeah. But the orders to rip out the central spirit tree. This is serious shit. And we only watched the Avatar the other night, didn't we?
A couple of nights ago.
A couple of nights ago.
Yeah.
This is like. This is the number one thing of the parasitic custodian blueprint. Yeah. They always knew that was going to have to be out. They didn't know at the beginning. They probably did know that they was going to get the Greys to do it. Yeah. But the Greys was the only ones because the techniques and the tools they had. But this is like serious shit. Yeah. Because without this, nothing happens. Yeah. But here it goes. The orders to rip out Central Spirit Tree, the custodians, the parasite priests of the Cube system, were the ones who gave the direct orders to tear down the tree. They couldn't do it themselves. They needed beings with more technical skills. So that means advanced multi-dimensional engineering skills. This is where they use the Greys. Greys are exceptional engineers, diggers, and demolition. Shit hot at demolition. Not only that, the Greys had already been enslaved through the Anuk control webs. The Greys' origin were not parasites, they were bioengineered from early experiments through Anunnaki. But under the Anuk, then the custodians, they were weaponized as frequency technicians, able to phase matter in and out of overlays. It was the Greys who actually installed the black crystalline valve locks after the tree been teared out from Hyperborea. Interesting. Oh, you know, just rip it out. Stick your locks, stick your locks in there. You know?
Black tech.
Yeah, this is the Greys. They're gone because they'd be like sieved, like singed if they're seen. Any Greys were seen, they'd be demolished. Yeah? There's actually like technology for them to sniff them out.
Yeah.
So and they knows it. So as soon as they comes in, they're fried. Yeah, they're fried. Yeah. Don't forget, there are good Greys as well. What's been out on us, and they've been out on us with frequencies and stat as well. Yeah, these are ones. They're not. They're not affected. They're not thinking what they call it, engineered. They're not like genetically engineered. Yeah, right. So this is fucking deep. Just this bit before it goes into it. Listen, look. The orders to rip out the central spirit tree. Look how we feel just about these trees here. Look, yeah, look at them, beautiful, aren't they? Right, all these trees in this realm normally thrive off the central one. Yeah, all these roots in this ground should be like sparking, like firing up, like you see in Avatar and that. You know, everything's got like the frequency, the colour, the sound. The humming, the humming so tranquil, it's so positive, so beautiful. Yeah, it creates the sound of this most beautiful light. Yeah,
it's not them singing bowls.
Yeah, yeah, but just a beautiful. You don't constantly hear it, you feel it. Yeah, that's when you know you're in harmony, like proper harmony where you're from. Yeah, but here. The orders to rip out the central spirit tree, the custodians, the parasite priests of the Cube system, were the ones who gave the direct orders to tear down the tree. They couldn't do it themselves, they needed beings with more technical skills. So that means advanced multi-dimensional engineering skills. This is where they used the Greys. Greys are exceptional engineers, diggers, demolition. Not only that, the Greys had already been enslaved through the Anunnaki control webs. The Greys' origin were not parasites, they were bioengineered from early experiments through Anunnaki. But under the Anunnaki, then the custodians, they were weaponized as frequency technicians, able to phase matter in out of overlays. It was the Greys who actually installed the black crystalline valve locks after the tree been teared out from Hyperborea. Draconians entry. The Draconians wasn't originally in this particular equation. A little bit of revenge and a new opening for the loose harvesting were in mind. Yeah, basically, like they see an opening. Like you lot would see a gap in the window, what you would in a stock market and that. Where they see all that. But not only that, don't forget. Yeah, one of the reasons why Draconians do come into this, right, is a little bit of revenge. Yeah, because the custodians entered their world. They didn't I think they did, and it was to try and get them to team up with them, but they went a little bit tits up. Yeah, they just left. The custodians left. Draconians just stepped it up. Became more powerful. Yeah, and I would say that Draconians and the Greys was in business together a lot longer before the Anunnaki and the custodians, before they even knew. Again, the custodians done everything gradual. They brought the Anunnaki in gradual. Everything's brought in gradual. Yeah, and the reason why it's been caught in gradual because it's a matter of them earning each other's trust, seeing how they play, how they work. Who's got what blueprint. But the only blueprint what's going down at the end of the day, it don't matter who controls the known lands, it's the custodian blueprint. Yeah, because it's the best one. Yeah. So yeah, Draconians entry. The Draconians wasn't originally in this particular equation. A little bit of revenge and new opening for the loose harvesting were in mind, but Dracos came later. When the Greys themselves started to resist the Anunnaki and custodians, by the last major reset, about the time of the Atlantis Tartaria transitions, the Greys had grown bitter, used like tools, discarded, lied to, and their leader killed when they were always promised protection from Anunnaki custodians. This is when they made an alliance with certain Draco fractions, hoping to gain power against their masters. The Draconians brought brute force and terror tactics, whilst Greys handled the tech and overlays. The spirit tree had to be removed. The tree was the direct link to Source and the solar family. As long as it stood, we'll go into it in a minute. That was clear. Yeah. I'll do a little because I know some of you likes me just to read, don't you? Yeah.
I'll take pictures of them all.
Yeah. Great. The known lands would have been harder to hijack, and even then, not fully hijacked. It pulses through every last dome, real, like a spinal cord, a harmonic cord of pure light. This pure light is amplified to create suns. Equals created by council of 12 suns, cells, worlds. Can you remember when I said to you, Leon? Yeah. When I sat there and I was saying to you about what you're going to find out is see how your vessel works, like cells, veins,
I remember it.
And all that stuff, arteries. But this is how you work. Your mechanical structure works exactly how a world and around do.
And that makes sense. Macrosm and the microsm.
Yeah. So you're pixeled. Yeah.
That's the real macrosm and microsm.
Yeah. So basically, think of your cells and veins, as the vortexes and portholes and arteries all around it. Yeah. It's the same thing. Yeah, a cell, a world. Yeah, and what you'll look is, well, don't forget, everything's layered. Yeah, like millions of layers, millions and millions of layers of crystalline electromagnetic membrane. Yeah, like sheets of glass. Imagine sheets of glass. Yeah, right, and you all like this little spark bolting around it. Yeah, and you're creating all the time. Yeah, you're evolving, you're learning. Yeah, you're doing that all the time, but it's been inverted. Yeah. So, here we go. Right, the known lands would have been harder to hijack, and even then, not fully hijacked. It pulses through every last known realm like a spinal cord, a harmonic cord of pure light. This pure light is amplified to create suns, created by council of 12 suns. Cells, worlds, need light equals suns. Exit and entrance by removing exit and entrance. By removing the tree, they could insert the valve. The Saturn Moon technology, yeah? The Saturn Moon frequency station. This connects to lands of Saturn, once a huge crystalline immense temple structure becoming main hub for the Q-Tech AI. This is what has fooled you all on a daily basis. This also creating the counterfeit cycle of reincarnation and energy harvest. The spirit tree's essence wasn't fully destroyed. Its roots systems spread across realms and domes. Those roots are still alive. That's the roots. Our frequency, where our frequency has got high. Yeah, it don't matter. Some of you are doing it unawarely, but you see some of them roots and the veins of it. You're walking over it wherever you live. All resonating souls. Most of you, you're all where they say. Especially if you're near a city or in a city. Yeah,
Nodal points.
yeah, you're at the nodal points. Yeah, the main. Because don't forget, cities. Yeah, are circuit boards. Yeah, what's been designed to put on the old ancient circuit board.
Yeah, overlay it.
To overlay it and suppress it. Yeah? Don't know that clear now.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, right. Those roots are still alive, and they form grids, webs, harmonic lenses, nodes, crystals. ET souls who come to help have been embedded with codes, so these grids recognise you. Their codes, what the human souls carry. Yeah? So, yeah, some of the codes, us ancient ones and new starseeds have been embedded with, right, are codes what the human souls carry as well. And the reason for that is because like the human souls, what's been and ET souls here, what's been NPC influenced, brainwashed, manipulated, branded, yeah, they're not aware of frequency and ley lines and nodes and crystal. They can't remember it, yeah. So their codes, what the humans carry, yeah, the crystals and the grids in this known lands recognises them,
whether they know it or not.
Yeah, whether they know it or not, and they're unaware of it, yeah. Like, so you got humans walking around, yeah, who's got codes in them, unawarely, and they're coded to the grids in this realm, yeah, to this overlay. So they are created literally for this overlay, yeah. Like we created them for in the first place, but been trapped in this overlay, but distorted, amnesia, wiped, all that sort of stuff, yeah. So basically, yeah, the humans carry these codes, and some of the codes us lot in here, even me, we carry them codes. So the grids, yeah, in this world recognise us, yeah, but they will recognise us. Don't forget, them codes have been embedded. Like I said, them codes, like, some of them codes will always stay, but a lot of them will go. Because some of them codes, what we're all in here with now, are only been embedded for us for the Great Awakening, yeah, the Great Spiritual Awakening. Yeah, as soon as we hit boom, below through essence, you know, in the pods, the chambers where we go. Game over here. So yeah, we're back and all. Yeah, we'll be doing. And don't get before we, what are we going to be doing? We're going to be eating in a bit, yeah. But let me tell you, what you're going to be doing is going to be beyond your imagination. Yeah. The roots are still alive. They form grids, webs, harmonic lenses, nodes, crystals. ET, yeah. ET souls who come to help have been embedded with these codes, so these grids recognise you. Their codes, what the human souls carry, ET souls, we're always going to awaken first. It's part of the process. That's why positive ET, fleets and resonating souls can reawaken the grid webs. Me, Phelan, carry the seed codes of the spirit tree. It's what guided me through. It's what's guided me through all this time. I can't be broken in that. Yeah? It's codes of my true origin. Those were forgotten codes. Yeah. So the spirit tree, what's been embedded, obviously, the codes, what was used to build the spirit tree, put the node in place under the spirit tree. Yeah. Are from the don't forgotten gods. The same codes as what my father embedded in me. Impossible codes. Yeah. You know, it's a little bit about that, don't you? Yeah. Yeah. It was God. Yeah, it's what's guided me through. It's codes of my true origin, those forgotten gods. The spirit tree was planted, built by Lyran builders, architects, early custodians, frequency keepers. The spirit tree is a dome of The spirit tree is a dome of forgotten God's creation to create a continuous pure flow of bright light created by sound and vibration. Yeah, that's pretty clear.
Very.
Yeah, look. These roots are still alive. They form grids, webs, harmonic lenses, nodes, crystals, ET souls who come to help have been embedded with codes. So these grids recognise you. Their codes, what the human souls carry, ET souls, we're always gonna awaken first. It's part of the process. That's why positive ET fleets and resonating souls can reawaken the grids, webs. Me, Phelan, carry the seed codes of the spirit tree, and I had to carry them seeds. You all carry it, yeah. But I carried it as a recognition for you, yeah. It's like the call, you know, from the beginning. It's like the call, yeah. These codes are what you will recognise with me, yeah. Because when you all remember and start seeing the clearer picture of the spirit tree, it's the most important thing in all your existence, yeah. Right, like this is like they say it's important. You've got to really go and take this in, yeah. The Lyran builders, yeah. You don't want to explain what the Lyrans are. It's part of the process. That's why positive ET fleets and resonating souls can reawaken the grid webs. Me, Phelan, carry the seeds code to the spirit tree. It's what's guided me all the way through. It's code of my true origin, dome of forgotten gods. The spirit tree was planted, built by the Lyran builders, architects, early custodians, frequency keepers. The spirit tree is a dome of forgotten God's creation to create a continuous pure flow of bright light created by sound and vibration. Oh, yeah. I think I've flipped another one over. Sure. Right in it, yeah. Sweet. Yes. The five masters of the forgotten gods. This is what controls everything. Like the Great Awakening, every mindset in here. Like, but certain mindsets at certain times. And these mindsets are the ones what are keeping the illusion going for the moment. Yeah, it's like a fake illusion, a temporary illusion. Yeah. The five masters of the forgotten gods. One. The one master of consciousness. The fifth. The fifth. The source element. Before water, fire, air, earth existed, there was only awareness, consciousness. Awareness. Consciousness is the prime element The one what observes, imagines, and brings form from nothing equals friction, frequency, sound. In Dome of Forgotten Gods, this master is not seen as a being, but as a field of pure crystalline light that gives rise to all the others, equals to 4 elements. 2. Master of water. Water is memory, flow and adaptation. It holds the records.